why do you think the shift happened with palm wine music? Because you guys spent time working on that sound.
Yeah, yeah.
Why did you think it finally clicked in the way that it did with palm wine music?
So in 2017, I had a studio on Awolowo Road or off Awolowo Road. Very small, like I said, a studio, a room, small room, but it was a studio. And it gave us a space or a base for all of our friends to just come and record. And we were like, because now it's different, now we own a studio, like I was pretty much in the studio all the time. So even guys, when they come back from the club, they'll come to the studio. Like, you know, we had a space where everybody, so that was the first place, like, we did a record with Thames, or Thames and Ladipo. That was the first time we met Thames. She came to the studio, we did a record with Ladipo, Ajay Botta, Tommy Thomas, Mologo, everybody that is now formed the basis of like palm wine music. We'll just come into that studio and we'll just record. And then we met the producer Sparks, who has produced all of our music. And when we met him, at first, like, he was producer for Lynx and Ladipo. And I'd met him a few times, and Lynx had kept sending me beats, and Ladipo kept sending me beats, like, you should work with these guys, Sparks. So when I met him, we had a discussion, and he was like, you know what, like, I've heard all the Happy Weekend, I've heard all the songs you guys have done, but the SDC me I want to reconnect with is the Feel Alright SDC, which was 2013, so that's a 4-year gap since then. And, you know, I was like, funny enough, that's the SDC I enjoyed the most. Like, after we did Feel Alright, we asked Jules for those same kind of beats. But I think at that time, he then started working with Mr. Easy, so I think that's who got those kind of beats, Jules. You know, and then, like, so for us, getting producers to produce in that bag was not really as straightforward. And then when we met Sparks, he was like, you know what, I really want to tap into that, because I feel you guys touched something there, like an African sound mixed with hip-hop that you've kind of moved away from. And so we just started working, and we just started working on music. And the first batch of like maybe like 6 or 7 songs we did was literally what was Palm Wine Music Volume 1. So then we had also then decided as well that, like, in terms of the industry, the performance side of the industry, we also were not comfortable with, you know, because there you'd get a booking, you'd go to like Lagos Countdown or Echo Hotel, and there'll be like 50 artists on the bill. You have your 10 minutes, you do your thing and get off. Like, and even if you want to, like, we'll be arguing with promoters, we want to use band, we want to say, bro, like, there's no backline even. Yeah, do your 2 songs, DJ exclusive will give you your 2 beats, you perform and you're off. And so you're churning off. And it was really just like, who has hits? You know, because the fans just want to hear like the popular hits, and then you get off. So you can't even explore your catalog or anything. You just, so we're like, yeah, we want to actually perform and actually like connect with crowd and build a crowd. So maybe we start something smaller. So we started our own palm wine sessions. We did at Bugubiri, the first one. It was like 100 and something people. Then we did another one in Ilupeju on the mainland, another 100 and something people. Then we did another one again, Summerland Island. That one was bigger. Then we got booked by a brand to do like a big show. And then the show that they did, like, we were the headliners, and they got like 1,000 people there. So we now thought, okay, well, maybe we can scale up as well. If this brand got 1,000 people and we're the headliners, what if we do it ourselves? So then that same year, 2017, we did the first Palm Wine Festival. And, you know, like I said this before, I was really inspired by a friend of mine at the time who had just done an art fair in 2016, I think, Artex, which was the first time they did Artex. And so for me, seeing someone close to my age, like creating something at that scale, a piece of IP that belonged to them, I was very inspired by that, you know, and I was like, you know what, like, how about I create my own festival? It can be small, but we own it, and we can curate it, and we can give people music the way we feel it should be presented. And then it gives a platform for all of these boys that are coming up, all the Odusis, the Santis, the Falanas, people that we've all just been grouped in this alter lane, but I feel like quite a lot of them are, like, Falana to me blends jazz and, you know, like, boy, I feel in Nigeria, like, Falana and Odunsi are two different artists, but they're grouped together.
True.
You know, so all the people that we the first show we had Black Magic, MI, Lynx, all the people that were just in this lane of different kind of music, you know. Yeah.
It's interesting that said they grouped us
Yeah.
as if it wasn't self-inflicted.
No, the group. I've never ever come out to say, like, I think the first time I ever knew that we were alternative was the Headies. That's the first time I ever knew, like, that's the first time anybody has ever group, like, we were nominated for Best Alternative Group.
But you didn't protest.
Now let's collect our award at the time. Like, I wanted to collect our award at the time. And I also feel that, like, in Nigeria, the perception of hip hop is that, you know, artists like lyricists on the roll and all that those type of categories. At one point, I feel like it was like Mood 9's house.
Yeah.
Like, it would be sacrilegious to give it to anybody but Mood 9. And then from there I also feel like lyricists on the roll is always like literally lyricists, people that are like, you know, going in all the time. Like,
But you go in all the time.
we do, but I feel like, you know, they've been able to classify us as palm wine because some of the songs are sweet sounding or just like happy songs or vibes. We don't need to go in all the time. Whereas, like, so I don't know, for whatever reason, the Headies never nominated us for hip hop. They would always just put us as alternative group, you know. The kids that had more of an alter sound, like Odunsi, Santi, who else? Lady Donley, people like that. They're like a generation after us. They're like I think the only thing that we share musically is that we've collaborated before, and also we have been independent our whole career. So that independent energy is something that they came up as a group, as friends or whatever. Eventually they all signed label deals, but at the beginning they were very independent as well, and they grew their own fan base. But other than that, I don't think sonically we are too similar.